Series win aren't as complete as this one. Probably many wouldn't taste as sweet as this did. India were without the services of their regular players, the star players. Jasprit Bumrah was rested, Virat Kohli wasn't available, KL Rahul was down with an injury. But even after all that, even after all the unavailability issues, even after so much noise from the outside, whether this inexperienced squad against the Bazball, Brendan McCullum, Ben Stokes, will they be able to pull it off? 3 tests in a row. For the first time, Ben Stokes has lost 3 tests on the trot. 3 tests in a row, India showed what they have. India showed why they are the dominating side, which we have seen them in the recent past at home. Turning tracks, not turning tracks, black soil pitches, red soil pitches, they have conquered them all. And Ranchi was no different. It was a testing chase, it was a dramatic chase where India kind of got off to a very solid start with both Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rohit Sharma scoring fluently, but those 5 wickets did trigger some panic in both in the press box and the dressing room too. But in came Dhruv Jurel after that 90, the match defining 90 which he scored in the first innings, combined well with Shubman Gill, who scored a brilliant half century to see India over the finish line. 5 wicket win, 3-1, unassailable lead in the series, everything looks good. But at the post-match press conference, Rohit Sharma, while praising the youngsters, had a very stern statement to make on youngsters and what he sees in them and how he plays them. He didn't take any name, he wasn't mentioning anyone, he wasn't suggesting anyone. But when he was asked about the youngsters, he lavished praise on them all. He said they are very, very grounded and did cheekily remark that Yashasvi Jaiswal is still a bit hunky-dory. And that is probably why he's keeping him away from all the media glare in the series so far. But he had a word of advice for all the youngsters and what he notes, what the management notes inside the dressing room. हम प्लेयर में भूख देखते हैं, वी सी हंगर इन अ प्लेयर, एंड इफ अ प्लेयर डज नॉट हैव दैट भूख टू प्ले टेस्ट क्रिकेट, दैट हंगर टू प्ले टेस्ट cricket, we don't play them. We only play players who have that hunger, that bhook, that urge to do well in this format, which is the toughest of them all. Only those players are playing for the country. Not surprised that someone like Yashasvi Jaiswal has done so well, because he has shown time and again the hunger to score big runs, the big hundreds. Dhruv Jurel, not much experience under his belt, but he had that hunger to grind it out for the side in the first innings with the 90s. Sarfaraz Khan doing it for donkey years in the domestic circuit, scored those twin half centuries in his debut test. Didn't get runs in this test, but yes, he's a player of utmost quality. Similarly for Rajat Patidar, he has had a string of low scores now, but yes, the hunger to perform has always been there. Then comes Akashdeep, little known of, just the IPL as the sample size and what he did for Bengal in the first class circuit. First innings, 3 wickets, putting it on the mat in the first session itself. These are the kind of stories which have played a crucial and a very important role in India's series win. 3-1. That's dominating. There's a test to be played, but India comfortably have the series in the bag. They can afford to try different things. They can afford to try different players, because they have outplayed Bazball, the hyped Bazball. Everyone thought when they'll be coming here, they'll blow us away. Rank turners, what kind of pitches will we play? Don't give them flat tracks, because they'll go at 4 and over, 5 and over. But Kuldeep Yadav, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, Jasprit Bumrah in the first 3 tests, they kind of showed that, how to contain Bazball, how to dominate Bazball and end up on the right side. Hyderabad test probably was one test which India should have again won, but that 4th innings collapse, something which we are fearing today as well, happened and India fell short. Otherwise it could well have been 4-0, because India have been that dominating in the series so far. But the major takeaway from today's day was how the youngsters played. The major takeaway from the series has been how the youngsters have been performing time and again in the opportunities which they have been getting. And Rohit, again, I'll repeat a stern statement. We will only play players who have that hunger to perform. Please note, I'll repeat it again. We will only play players who have the hunger to do well in the red ball format. We will not play anyone or everyone. This is the players we see जिनमें वो भूख है खेलने की, because this format takes a lot of hard work. So we'll only play players who are ready to put in the hard yards, who are ready to showcase that hunger in the longest format. Otherwise, you might as well chill at home and do whatever you want to do, man, because this Indian cricket team means business. They have already identified their next core group of players, and Rohit was, very, very optimistic, and when he said that these players will go on to play for India in this format for the next 5-7 years, and that's a big statement coming from the Indian captain. Just seeing them do what they did in the last 2-3 tests, it wasn't an easy place to be. It wasn't an easy place to be for Rohit Sharma, the captain himself, because he had certain issues to take care of within the team, because there were certain players who weren't performing to the best of the potential. Shubman Gill had a string of low scores before that 100 in Vizag, but all came together for him. He scored a 90 odd in Rajkot, followed it up with a brilliant half century in the second innings. looked very solid in the first innings as well, but just kind of threw away that start which he got. Otherwise, it has been a very complete team effort from the side. You can pick individuals. Yashasvi Jaiswal probably stands, on top of that mountain when it comes to contribution in the series so far. But it has been a very complete effort. Rohit himself scoring a century, then a half century in this inning, looking very positive. So this is just Indian cricket team taking giant strides forward and dominating Test cricket, and challenging that WTC final spot again. So Dharmshala will be very exciting. Indian team, kind of goes off for a little break now. England will be heading to Chandigarh, where they'll be close to a golf course, chilling before they regroup for the fifth and final test of the series, which gets underway in Dharmshala on March 7th. So Ranchi was this. It was good. It was pleasant. It was nice. The cloud and the sun kept playing hide and seek. It was chilly. It was overcast. It gave everything. Probably this test had everything. You had something for the batters, the bowlers, even the wicket keepers were interested with the theatrics they had to put in behind the stumps because the odd ball keeping low. But it was a very complete test match. It felt complete. The victory felt sweeter. And Rohit Sharma was a relieved man at the post-match press conference. He wasn't comparing the World Cup heartbreak and the win here. He said that that's a different format, so he didn't really want to go there. But Dharmshala, India will head into the Dharmshala test much solid and much more riding high on confidence. I asked him whether Jasprit Bumrah will be playing that game, so the skipper smiled and he said that we haven't thought anything about that yet. So let's see what happens in that test, whether KL Rahul comes back from injury, whether Jasprit Bumrah will get an extended rest. What happens, a lot of things will happen. For now, it's time to enjoy a couple of days off before I join you again from Dharmshala, from the hills of Dharmshala, and I will have Network 18 Group Sports Editor for company during that test match. So you keep watching, hit the bell icon, click on the subscribe button, follow us across our social media handles, because we will ensure that you don't miss a ball, don't miss a beat. So keep watching.